Because I always talk in the videos about self-love, love yourself, forget everybody else. Stop focusing on everybody else and start loving yourself. So somebody has sent me a question asking, if we human beings turn our attention only to self-love, how will we ever get to the greater inner connection between all people? First of all, the greater inner connection between all people has nothing to do with love whatsoever. It has to do with understanding other people and with accepting them the way they are, unconditionally. Of course, unconditional acceptance is what love is. But we humans here on earth, at this time in our evolution, have not reached that level yet to accept everybody the way they are, simply because we have not accepted ourselves yet the way we are. So right now, there's no point in focusing on connecting with all the people in the world. It sounds nice, it sounds very Hollywood, but that is not what's blocking us from our evolution right now, or from an easier life, or from a more conscious life. What's blocking us from conscious living is we do not love ourselves. And we spend most of our time trying to get other people to love us. And this is why in all the videos on the YouTube sites, I keep saying, love yourself. Love yourself. You won't get anywhere in life if you do not love yourself. Also, all this love for others that we say we have, again, has nothing to do with love. It's all about need. We need others and we call it love. And more importantly, we need others to need us. And when others need us, we call it love again. Until, of course, the other person does something we don't like, or we don't want, or we don't agree with. Then we stop the love instantly, in a split second. We even do it to our own children. So I would say to whoever is asking this question about the great inner connection between all people, that we're not there yet. Once we get there, then we can talk about this. Right now, we need to start loving ourselves. Because until we do love ourselves, there's no way we can love anyone else. I don't think that will ever be a problem for us anyway, loving anyone else. Because what happens is when you accept yourself just the way you are, you automatically accept everybody else the way they are. It's just the way things work. Like attracts like. So if you want an inner connection between all people, I would say connect with you first. Focus on you first. If you have, if you have a good inner connection with yourself, then it will be very easy to connect with everyone else on the planet. Now, you might say, okay, I'm ready to focus on connecting with me. How do I do this? I'm sure there's many ways. I can only tell you what worked for me. Somebody else told me how to do it. I did it and it really worked for me. I started to do throughout the day only the things I liked. And I stopped doing something I don't like. Because when we do this, more soul comes into the body. And as more soul came into the body, I connected with who I really am. Because we are not our body, we know this. We are a soul. And the easiest way I have found, personally for me, if it works for you, that's good. But if you find another way, that's also good. There is no right way. The easiest way I have found for me is to, through consciously and consistently, throughout the day, do only the things I like. I would never eat something just because I'm hungry. I would never do something just because I think I have to, or because someone else wants me to. And by doing this, more and more soul kept coming into the body. And I connected with myself. Now, there is another little irony here. Many people might not agree with this, but when we love ourselves, we don't care if anyone else loves us. We really don't. So that might happen to you as well once you start loving yourself. There's a very good song by Grace Jones. I think it's from the 70s or the 80s. I only remember one line, two lines. It's okay if you love me. It's okay if you don't. That's the level you reach once you start loving yourself. Also, because more soul comes in once you start loving yourself, you see the bigger picture. So you stop feeling sorry for people simply because you can see the bigger picture. You know why someone is suffering, or you can see why someone is going through a bad time. You don't become totally indifferent to the situation, but because you can see, you can understand, you simply observe. You don't get involved, and you don't go and you don't go to save that person. You don't run to help, because you can see why that person is going through what they are going through. We will eventually reach that level, the level of observance. We will just observe. And we accept everything just the way it is. And then we can talk about the inner connection between all people. Right now it sounds like a nice romantic phrase, but it doesn't really mean anything. It's empty. Like many of those romantic phrases, they're empty. They don't really mean something. Okay, what is an inner connection to all people? You love everyone. Simply start accepting everyone, just the way they are. That will be love. But none of that could come, none of that will ever come until we have first started accepting ourselves just the way we are.